You are Locked On Dodgers Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, how about Gavin Stone? That was unbelievable. Just pure dominance. I am Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Dodgers Postcast. Thank you for joining me here on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. A place to hang out when every game is done. You can also download and listen on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. Today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers Postcast is brought to you by Tax Network USA. Do you know that it's never too late to resolve your tax issues with the IRS? Don't wait. Reduce your tax debt and get help from the team of licensed tax professionals at Tax Network USA, 1-800-549-1000 or tnusa.com/locked on. Well, Gavin Stone, a complete game. How about that? That's more on Dave Roberts than I think it is on Gavin Stone, because they just don't let pitchers go the distance anymore. Joe said it right at the end of the game. In an era when this doesn't happen, Gavin Stone went the distance. That was fun to watch. And primarily for me, because early on in the third inning, or through three rather, he was allowed just one hit on 2 Ks, and then through 4 innings, 2 hits on 3 Ks. So he was doing it in a variety of different ways. Not necessarily, usually when someone is extremely dominant, it's based on strikeouts primarily, but he finished with just 7 and kept the ball in play. Gave up 4 hits all in all, but the White Sox never even threatened. Not that they're good, but it doesn't matter. They can still get base hits. They out-hit the Dodgers last night. So even though this is a bad dog crap team, it still says a lot about Gavin Stone's improvement, his dominance over this major league professional baseball team, his efficiency, that he had few enough pitches that would allow Dave Roberts to let him try to get the complete game. So that's awesome. Give the bullpen a day off. They obviously have been earning their money of late and doing a lot of work. They had to go 7 last night because Bobby Miller left after just 2. So Gavin Stone picking up the slack, his 9th win. I mean, he's got to be in the conversation to be an all-star. 9-2, his ERA 2.73, ultimately through 107 pitches. And, it was all in his hand tonight. Everything was working. I thought he had not only really good control, but sharp cut, break, whatever you want to call it. The ball was moving. He struck out 5 guys of the 7 on sliders, which was pretty darn wicked. Joe Davis and Oral Hershiser were commenting that he did it primarily with the change. And I'm like, okay, I guess the slider technically is a change of speed. Correction, one of them was a sinker. So 5 sliders, 1 sinker, and 2 changes. So kind of mixing it up real nice. But really, yeah, the changeup was devastating as well. But I thought the slider was really, really tough to hit. And the sinker had some pretty nice snap on it as well. So a stellar, superb night for Gavin Stone to improve his record to 9-2 and get the 9-inning complete game win, giving the bullpen the night off. Shohei Ohtani, of course, doing what he does, hitting leadoff homers. I don't know. Can we make an argument at this point that when Mookie Betts comes back, then maybe Mookie should bat second and we leave Shohei Ohtani in the leadoff spot? He's absolutely been dominant. Set a Dodger record tonight. His 10th consecutive game with an RBI. 10 consecutive games with an RBI. That's pretty impressive. The average going into this game was 441 and included 7 home runs. We got all this information pregame, and then he proceeds to launch one out of the yard, his 25th round tripper of the year. So 8 home runs during this RBI streak, which lasts 10 games. And I know we talk probably every night about how unique and interesting and great and bad and strong and ugly and pretty Shohei Ohtani swing is, all at the same time. Well, tonight on that swing to lead off the game, it was perfect. Everything fired at exactly the right time. And that was just a thing of beauty. Had guys in the dugout doing the "we're not worthy" thing. That was just brilliant, perfect, beautiful. But I think the thing that makes Shohei Ohtani who he is and so awesome and so great is he could still do that with that ugly swing where he's all, out of sequence and out of order. And the body is, the bottom half is flailing open. The Jimmy leg is going crazy. That's what makes him great. That's what makes him so dominant, is that he could still hit the ball like that. Like last night, he looked awful on almost, I think he had one decent looking at bat. Did he home run to lead off with a home run last night as well? God, I can't even remember. I feel like he did. Did he lead off last night's game with a home run? Yeah, he did. And Freddie Freeman had an RBI as well. So kind of a mirror image tonight in many respects, except for Bobby Miller was awful and Gavin Stone was fantastic tonight. But as far as offense goes, Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman stepping up, and that's awesome. I mean, that's a very good place to be. It's a very good feeling with Mookie Betts out. Teoscar Hernandez returned to the lineup, was gone for some family issues. And I kind of missed him, kind of felt like the Dodgers needed him. And again, had they not been playing the Chicago White Sox, I feel like his absence would have been more noticeable. But Shohei Ohtani last night, a home run, a couple of RBI, 2 hits. And it was just, as far as his mechanics, a fairly ugly night. But tonight, the mechanics look good. That home run in the first inning was a thing of beauty. And he finished with just the 1 hit, scored 2 runs, walked twice, no strikeouts, improving the batting average to .322. So that should keep him atop of Major League Baseball in the average department, and the OBP 402, the slugging 643 for a OPS of over 1,000. So he's an absolute stud. Teoscar Hernandez, 0 for 3, but did have an RBI, sack fly there, which got him on the Diamond Dogs list. Struck out twice, his average down to 252. As I said, Freddie Freeman continues his really, really effective, productive month of June, going 1 for 4 with 2 RBI. J-Hay was 0 for his average at 220. But again, hit the ball hard a couple of times. So just having a bad streak of luck right now, like Will Smith is, who didn't play tonight. Pages played, went 0 for, batting 251, had a bit of an adventure there in center field early in the game, but ultimately caught the ball, and that's all you can ask for. Gavin Lux gives the haters something to scream about tonight. He went 0 for, batting 221, struck out 3 times, the old hat trick. Miguel Rojas 2 for 4. He made it on the Diamond Dogs list. Kiké, a very clutch hit, which we're going to get into in the next segment, because I broke it down. I thought it was a fantastic at bat. And Austin Barnes a hit, 1 for 4. He is now batting 206. So thank you for joining me here. This is the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. And you can listen to us on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. We'll take our first break. When we come back, we'll do the Diamond Dogs list. All right, tonight's show here on the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by our friends at Tax Network USA. We pride ourselves on getting your team kind of up to date, keeping you up to date on your team. And that, of course, in this particular situation is the Dodgers. We give you the latest news, whether it's the offseason or the draft or the regular season or spring training or even the playoffs. We do it year round. Well, you know what else is year round? Collection season. Just because tax season is over doesn't mean that the IRS will stop coming after you for unfiled taxes. The IRS can garnish your wages, levy your bank account, and even seize property. Don't let the IRS target you. Let the licensed professionals at Tax Network USA go to bat for you. And in my particular situation, even though tax time has come and gone, we got an extension. So we haven't even done our taxes yet. So this definitely makes me feel like, yeah, I got to get to work on that. We're still within our deadline, but obviously you can't procrastinate too long because that extended deadline will come and go before you know it. And if you have somebody helping you, it obviously takes the stress off and makes that situation a whole lot easier. With over 14 years of experience and an A+ from the Better Business Bureau, Tax Network USA has saved clients over $1 billion in tax debt. Whether you owe taxes, have complicated matters that require a tax planner, or finally hit that parlay this season and have a lot of extra money that you need to deal with, call 1-800-549-1000 or visit taxnetusa.com or tnusa.com. Tonight's show also brought to you by eBay Motors. Passion, drive, and patience are what bring home the winning trophy. It's also what keeps your ride or die alive. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for at eBay Motors. Things like roof racks, exhaust kits, things to kind of spruce up your vehicle. Also things to keep it running like brakes, LED headlights, superchargers. You want to take it to the next level, eBay Motors has got you covered. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to turn your car into the MVP and bring home that win. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay's guaranteed fit available only to U.S. customers. All right, Dodgers finish off their sweep of the lowly White Sox by a score of 4-0. Gavin Stone, Stoner, as you guys have been calling him, gets the complete game. That was really nice to see. And the dominant performance is always encouraging and exciting to watch because, Dodgers still dealing with a little bit of problem, a little bit of thinness with regard to the starting rotation. Yamamoto is out. Still need him to come back. Walker Buehler laid up again. I don't know if he's actually hurt or they just needed to give him a break. We heard that it was just a break, that they needed to give him some time to mentally recover, recuperate, and reintegrate into the starting rotation because after coming off of the IL, returning from the surgery, had one good outing and the rest were fairly bad. A lot of garbage, a lot of ineffectiveness from him. So they're letting him kind of rehab, recuperate mentally, maybe physically as well. But with him out, Yamamoto out, it's, they're down a couple, I guess you would say, fair to say. Landon Knack filling in nicely, admirably. We like what we see from him so far. Don't know what's going on with Emmett Sheehan. Really like to get him back. Dustin May, Tony Gonsolin, all these guys that have been effective and guys that have eaten up a lot of innings over the last couple of years. Still trying to figure out when we might see them. Clayton Kershaw obviously laid up for an extra week this week. They shut him down because he had some soreness after a bullpen, which followed a rehab start. So that'd be a guy this would be a perfect time to get him back in there and see what he's got. He's not going to be lighting people up with 95, 96. He might get up to 93, but hey, that's enough. James Paxton tops out at about 93, and that guy's been extremely effective for the Dodgers of late. So it's nice to see that Gavin Stone is taking care of business every time he goes out there. He is, it's almost like a guaranteed win for the Dodgers. He's right up there with Tyler Glass now. When these two guys are on the mound, we all feel very comfortable about the potential for a victory. All right, here's tonight's Diamond Dogs list. I've basically hit on most of them already, but of course, Shohei Ohtani leading off the game with a home run, which was a moonshot. absolutely ripped 437 feet, his 25th round tripper of the year. It came on a 3-2 cutter that evidently he was waiting for, because everything was lined up and he was dialed on that one. For number 4, Dodgers got their second run on a Teoscar Hernandez sac fly in the third, made it 2-0, and it scored Kiké Hernandez, who had a fantastic at bat to get on base, which we'll get into here after the list. Freddie Freeman, a 2 RBI double right after the Teoscar sac fly. That made it 4-0, and that would be all the Dodgers needed. He pulled it down the line. Again, right on the pitch, just like he was yesterday. Seemed to be waiting for it, head on the ball, everything in line. Nice piece of hitting there. Freddie Freeman has really gotten things back in order, and probably up to a level where he's comfortable, where he feels good about the way things are going, because we know he was struggling mightily for the month of May. He'd have a good game, and then he'd back it up with 2 offers. So the fact that he had a 17-18 game on base streak, that might even still be going, but he's had a fantastic month of June. The average at 299 after a 1-for-4 today. For number 2 on the list, Miggy Rojas, a double down the line, double to right in the 4th inning. And probably the best part about that was the fact that he, went with the ball. We all know that I'm a big fan of people going with the ball, but it was a hard hit ball. But without a doubt, the highlight of Miguel Rojas's double was his shimmy. It was extra for sure. It was all over the place. He was doing an extra energetic shimmy there after the double. And of course, number 1 tonight on the Diamond Dogs list, Gavin Stone deserves a crown for going 9 innings. And Dave Roberts gets honorable mention for allowing him to go 9 innings and not pulling him after giving up a hit there in the 9th. Everyone said that that would be it. That was kind of the feeling. Joe and Oro were like, oh, that might be enough, because he gave up a hit and went over 100 pitches, 103 to be specific. And Craig was counting, probably saying that would be the number, right, Craig? If he got to 100 and he's still out there, they will probably yank him, but they did not. So that's good to see. It was a fantastic performance, and I think he's going to have a shot at being an all-star. He's just been really good. As far as the White Sox go, their starter, Fetty, who came in with a 3.05 ERA. Remember, Gavin Stone's ERA was over 3 coming into this game. I think 3.04. They were within a tick of each other. Again, Stone's ERA down to 2.73 after today's performance. And Fetty going 6, giving up 4 runs on 5 hits. Did strike out 5, but his ERA bounces up to 3.23. Now let's get to that Kiké Hernandez at bat. I thought, Kiké Hernandez to me is a grinder. He doesn't have a ton of physical tools. He's a good infielder. He's a good outfielder. He is a good hitter. He's not great at any of that. He's not a big guy. I think he might be 5'8", 5'9", weigh about 175, soaking wet, with roll of quarters in his pocket. He's not a big guy. But what I like about Kiké Hernandez is he has a great attitude and he battles. He's always battling. And, you've seen him out there a couple of times with the microphone on in the middle of the game, and he's always talking. Just the fact that he allows the network, whether it was Spectrum or Fox or whoever had that game, to put the mic on him in the middle of a regular season game. I thought that was something they saved for just spring training, but they did it in the middle of a regular season game. Usually when it's regular season, they'll do the outfielders because obviously there's a little less action out there. But Kiké was playing third or short, and they had the mic on him. And I was just like, that's amazing. And I think he even got a ground ball. Tried to turn the double play, but I think they were a tad bit slow. But that kind of attitude, and the thing that maybe surprised me a little bit about that was I thought he would have a little bit more levity. I thought it would be a little lighter, a little bit more fun. He was focused. He wasn't joking around with them. He was paying attention, doing his job, and very conscientious about playing the game, even though he had a mic on him in the middle of the game. So I enjoyed that. I appreciate his attitude. He has a very light side. His teammates love him because he has fun, but he focuses when he needs to. And on the field, he's an absolute grinder. And that at bat on the third was just such nice work. 7 pitches. And then he late. All right, now we're back. Lost the internet there for about 15-20 seconds. Anyway, 7 pitch at bat for Kiké in the third, and then he laced a single to center, came around to score, which was nice to see. So he deserves credit for a nice at bat, fouling pitches off, worked the count full, and then got one that he liked and took advantage of it. So kudos to Kiké Hernandez on a well done at bat and a nice game all in all. Dodgers finish off their sweep of the Chicago White Sox. Win number 51 on the season, 51-31, 20 games over 500, 26-15 on the road, 4-0 the final. I'm Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube feed. The place to hang out when every game is done. You can listen to us. You can listen to us wherever you find your Dodger podcast feed. And don't forget to check out Jeff and Vince on the Locked On Dodgers Daily podcast as well. Wow. Well, internet struggling a little bit. I probably should have thrown a prize pick out there. Would have been a good night. After last night, when I did not have a good night, I had a 4 person selection thing, and I only got one, that being Shohei Ohtani. But internet's killing me tonight. Anyway, let's talk about Prize Picks, America's #1 DFS fantasy sports app with over 3 million members. They are the easiest, the most exciting way to play DFS. You pick more or less on 2 to 6 players and their stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. With the demons and the goblins, you can win more with the demons because they pay better, harder to hit. But if you have the Huevos and you want to pick 4 demons, you can win up to 100 times your money. Goblins are a little bit easier to hit. I'm more of a green goblin guy because they're easier, because I don't care if it's a small amount. Winning is always better than losing for me. Another great thing about Prize Picks, on Fridays, you can get your money back. On Tuesdays, they have bonuses going there as well, which is, we talked about it yesterday. Where did it go? I saved it here, and now I can't find it when I need it. Prize Picks, easiest, lowering your select player stat projections on Tuesdays. So they give you more of those goblins on Tuesdays, and on Fridays you can get your money back. Also, quick deposits and easy withdrawals. My initial deposit, super painless and hassle-free, and you get up to 100% bonus up to $100. So if you give them $100, they'll give you $100, which is awesome. So go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB and use the code LockedOnMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. Prizepicks.com. Pick more, pick less. It is that easy. Tonight's show also brought to you by LinkedIn. Are you struggling to close deals? B2B selling now is tougher than ever, and that's why I want to tell you about LinkedIn Sales Navigator. LinkedIn's Sales Navigator is a sales intelligence platform that helps professionals effectively prospect and engage high-value customers, drive higher revenue, and increase sales performance. Fueled by LinkedIn's 1 billion member platform. 1 billion members. Wow, that's impressive. Sales Navigator gives you the most up-to-date first-party data, enabling you to unlock conversations with the people that matter. Right now, you can try LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get a 60-day free trial at linkedin.com/lockedon. That's linkedin.com/lockedon for a 60-day free trial. LinkedIn Sales Navigator helps you sell like a superstar today. Just go to linkedin.com/lockedon and get started. Wow. A lot of sponsor reads today here on the old program. I am Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Dodgers postcast. Dodgers finish off their sweep of the Chicago White Sox, who continue to flail. You have to have a little bit of empathy for those guys. 21-61, 13-28 at home. That's rough. But they fought. They have some young talent there, and who knows? Maybe they're not far from getting back on track and turning things around. They have a couple of very good pitchers. This Fetty guy that pitched today, and the guy that started the series, Crochet, also a very solid starting pitcher. As a matter of fact, after that game, I saw some rumors floating around the internet that the Dodgers are interested in trying to acquire Crochet. So that would be nice to see if they could figure that out. Shohei Ohtani's little ticker today was not bad at all. Obviously led off the game with a home run. The average up to 322, which is leading the league as far as his other at-bats tonight. He walked, fouled out to third, walked again. So on base 3 of the 4 times. You can't complain about that at all. Freddie Freeman again with a clutch double, scoring 2 runs, which gave the Dodgers the 4-0 advantage, and that would be more than enough for them. The other thing about this game that was similar to last night's performance was they scored early and then made it stand up again against a really, really bad team like the White Sox. That's a little bit easier to do. At times I've complained about the Dodgers not really keeping it rolling or putting up the so-called picket fence across the box score. They get runs early and then they can't produce late. But I feel like when push comes to shove and things really get tight as the season rolls on and we get into more high leverage situations in the postseason and whatnot, I feel like this Dodger team is deep enough to score when need be. Obviously not at will, but for sure when they need to. In high leverage situations, I feel like when we get down to a nut cutting time, if you will, the Dodgers are going to be there ready to produce, especially when they get more healthy, when Mookie returns, when the starting rotation gets a little bit more whole and healthy. I think all is well. I mean, they're rolling along. So nice little win today, 4-0 the final, 51-31, sweeping the White Sox. 4 in a row now. Off day tomorrow. Then they are on to is it Detroit? I feel like they're the Giants. That's right. On to San Fran at AT&T to face the Giants. We haven't played them in a while. That'll be good. So that is Friday night. First pitch will be 7:15. Dodgers have yet to decide who is going to start that game. Might be Landon Knack. Whoever it is, he'll face off against Logan Webb, who's 6-6 with a 3.16 ERA. That's going to do it for tonight's postcast. Thank you for dealing with my shaky internet. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy the day off, and we'll talk again on Friday night. Have a good one.